Salih Mohammad Ali spent 5 years as a prisoner in Guantanamo. Like many others, he was detained in Afghanistan in the aftermath of the US invasion. He says he had done nothing wrong. Salih was released 3 years ago, but says he's still finding it difficult to fit back into society.
The government didn't even bother to ask about my well-being. I wanted them to help me because I need heart surgery, but despite promises, nothing happened. I feel I am a stranger in this country. The way some people look at me with suspicion still hurts me.
More than 90 Yemenis are still being held at Guantanamo. The US says it fears Yemen doesn't have the means to ensure the detainees won't rejoin al-Qaeda.
Yemen is left with only two options: build a rehabilitation center where the detainees can spend some time with religious leaders to make sure they have abandoned all forms of radical ideology. But if this condition is not met, the Americans are warning they will transfer the detainees to Saudi Arabia.
An option that's unacceptable to Yemen. Judge Hamoud al Hitar started the world's first rehabilitation program for al-Qaeda fighters.
We had been able to convince 95% of the people who were arrested by the authorities or those who embraced radical ideas. We successfully convinced them to renounce these ideas.
But the Americans are not convinced. NASR al-BAHRI, a former bodyguard of al-Qaeda leader Osama bin Laden, was rehabilitated by Judge al Hitar. But his views on US policies in the region haven't changed.
Rehabilitation should not be imposed by the Americans because they don't know our culture and religion. The US wants to impose its standards. We have to let them know that we are capable of doing the work on our own.
The US suspects the Yemeni government of cutting deals with al-Qaeda. They worry about releasing Gitmo detainees into what has become al-Qaeda's stronghold in the region. Caught in the middle of this fight between Washington and Sana'a are the families of the detainees. Abdurrahman al-Hill and his family looking at letters and pictures of his brother Abdussalam.
The last time we spoke, a month and a half ago, my brother asked if our government is doing its best to secure our release. I told him they might be transferred to Saudi Arabia over the issue of rehabilitation. He really sounded very upset and down. He said, "We don't want rehabilitation simply because we don't pose a threat to anybody in the world."
Until the fate of the Yemeni detainees is resolved, the agony of these families will continue, and the promise to close Guantanamo will remain unfulfilled. Hashim al-Barra, Al Jazeera, Sana'a.